Good afternoon. Today is the 15th of March and it's time for yet another very vague, rambling and particularly non-specific vlog. I think this is about number 35 or 36. If you're a channel member, then you will be seeing this the day that it's actually recorded. However, if you are just watching this on the channel without being a member, the member tier for seeing the very vague vlogs, the day that they come out is the set to later, or Rover 45 V6 tier. Then you'll be watching this in about April, I think. It's not particularly exciting today. We're just, as usual, on the way back from my mother's house, and the camera is shaking around just as the way that it normally does, which is very, very, very annoying. But I'm afraid just that's the way it goes on this channel. The mount in the way as well. It's just what happens. It's a week that I think will be significant for the channel, rather like the NEC Classic Car Show was back in November, because it's the week of the Practical Classics Classic Car and Restoration Show. I'm probably just in the videos going to call it the Practical Classics Restoration Show, because I won't be able to remember that long title. I won't be able to fit it into the video title. So that's just the way that it goes. But it does remind me of 3 years ago when we first started doing the Shambolic shuffles, and I'll tell you how they came about. My lady wife said to me that I should try filming the Classic Car Show, which was in the Excel Centre in London, the London Classic Car Show. We'd been the previous year, and it's not the sort of thing that she particularly enjoys, but it's something we could attend together. And we had tickets for Friday. It was in February 2019, and she said, "Why don't you take your phone with you and try to record it?" And at that time on the channel, I think I had less than 100 subscribers. You might think that with almost 900 videos on the channel, having 5,000 and sort of about 200 subscribers, 5,200 is not very many, and compared with many channels it's not, but compared with where I was at the time, it's actually quite a lot. I can assure you it's over 50 times the number that I had. So I went round there, and I didn't even have any editing software. The only way I could stop the video was by using the pause button on the phone that I had at the time. It's actually a brand of phone that I still use to this day. I'm on my third Sony Xperia Compact, and I just put my headphones in and wandered around. I didn't really know what I was going to say or how I was going to represent it. I just came up with the name because I knew it was going to be really terrible, and it kind of was. However, for some reason, and I don't know why to this day, that video was the first ever viral success I ever had, and it's not massively dissimilar from the videos that I do now. I got interrupted by announcements, I just walked around in sort of ignorance about things, and eventually I started getting low on battery and I just kind of stopped. There wasn't really any planning of it or anything, and for whatever reason it did alright, and people didn't complain about the terrible presentation, interruption by announcements and that kind of stuff, and they just kind of seemed to have enjoyed it. And so the next ones I did in 2019, did quite a few actually, they also did okay, they did pretty well. So we don't actually have any plan to change the format. The only thing I can do, because I know just about how to edit. My editing is absolutely terrible, but I do actually know how to put clips in a line and press render. That's pretty much the level we're talking at. I don't go in and change anything. I don't put overlays in. I don't do any of that. If I have a particular reason I need to stop for a little while, I can do that and then come back later. But the traditional Shambolic shuffle is all in one go. Only a pause button to actually do any form of editing at all. And it does mean that videos come out much, much sooner than virtually anyone else who's at any given show that I am. And I've learned that actually, if I want people to watch my videos, I just have to get them out as quickly as possible, because everyone else's will be better. They'll have better camera equipment, they'll actually have a plan to know what to do, they'll edit it properly, they'll put music in and things like that, and put corrections in where they need to, whereas mine videos don't have any of that. So that's why you'll hear at the beginning of every single one of them, you know, disclaimer and apologies, because I have to do it, because they're not like everyone else's videos. If you want to see proper kind of filming and editing, the twin cam coverage of the NEC Classic Car Show is really good in terms of a representation of how you should properly do it. But the thing is that people don't want that on my channel for some reason. They don't want me to be like all the others. They want the kind of spontaneous and, you know, anything can happen at any moment, and getting it wrong and tripping over, and crowds being there, and, you know, not having a particular sort of preview or a stand or anything like that. And that's the way people like it. Now, it is exhausting recording everything, which is what I aim to do, and that's what makes the Shambolic Shuffles unique. There aren't any other channels who go out there specifically to record everything ready to the show. I will stop short though at certain things. I saw a 2007 mid-fuel RAV4 for sale at the NEC Classic Car Show in November. I don't think that's worthy of being a classic car show. It's not old enough yet. If that was a first generation RAV4, that'd be fine. Obviously we can't talk about doing this on the channel anyway, and that wasn't great. And then I saw an E90 BMW 320D for about 2008 there from the same dealership, and I just thought, I'm just not going to film it. It's not quite right. Now, there are some cars from that sort of era that probably fine to turn up at a show, you know. If it was an MGTF, because those started production in 2008 for the revival type, that would be fine. But something like that, I just don't think is the right thing to be at a classic car show. Take it to a car show if you want. Some people might be interested in it, but I don't think it should have been there. So that's my proviso. If I see something that I just don't think is particularly interesting, like a modern supercar, or off-roader, but it's not from sort of a peculiar brand or something like that, then I probably won't film it. Everything else gets filmed, because I know from experience, even if I don't like particular cars, lots of you do, and this because we're all different, and that's what makes these shows so enriching, because people have a love for all kinds of stuff, and that makes it really, really fascinating. And so I will film everything that I deem to be kind of sort of significance that's there, and that's why they end up being so long. So I will be continuing to do that and trying to do my best to get everything right, but it does get a bit difficult to do that, particularly if you haven't had much sleep, and particularly if you're just walking around. I think I must have done something like 5 to 6 miles a day, at least every single day I was at that last show, and it could be the same this time. I've done a few things to sort of mitigate kind of, you know, getting really tired and everything like that. I don't have to walk so far this time because I'm not actually parked in the car park. I am taking the train in, which is probably a good thing. So that'll be good, just to compose the thoughts or whatever. And parking at the NEC is something like £14 a day, so that's a big saving. I'm sure the train fare's not £14 a day between Coventry Station and Birmingham International return, so that should be absolutely fine. Anyway, I think that's quite enough. This has been particularly kind of rambling about certain things, and just very grateful to everybody who watches the Shambolic Shuffles, because I don't still really know why people like them, but I will make them as long as people like them. I don't mind, and we have our unique selling points of them, and they will continue to be there. So thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. If you wish to become a channel member, then there's a join button down below, and if you join the Set Toledo and above tiers, then you can get access to these on the day of recording. Isn't that exciting? And thank you ever so much indeed once again for everything.